How's everybody doing? Good.
How are you?
Great.
Rest of you guys are a team that prides yourself on finishing. Just how tough is a game like that for you?
Yeah, to lose that kind of game, we were up pretty good there in the second half and all that, and the game just kind of slipped away from us. We could have played tighter across the board, and they got a good football team. They've been a playoff team for a while now, and they got some good players. So you got to be sharp. We got to be on our stuff, and we got to make plays. And unfortunately, it didn't happen. We did some really great things though. It's a journey. It's not, you don't get to the championship overnight. It takes a lot. But we could have handled that game. We could have played better. And that's really it.
Did they do anything differently the second half at all, or seemed like it was a little bit harder for the offense to get going?
Not really. I mean, they really had the ball once in the third quarter, I think. It was once in the third quarter, right? Yeah, so we had the ball once in the third quarter. They had the ball for quite a bit. I think they were trying to play the game slow in a way. And we got the ball once in the third quarter, and then the fourth quarter we hit Freddie, and then they answered back, and that was kind of the end of the fourth quarter in a way. Next thing you know, we were in overtime. We had some unfortunate penalties, had some things that were some good plays, this and that on both sides of the ball, and it just didn't work out our way on those, and that's just part of the game. We still got to stay poised. We still got to answer. We still got to find a way to win. We should have had a great opportunity to win this game, and it's unfortunate, but we're staying focused on what we can do.
Russ, you guys had a great drive at the end of the half, 75 yards in less than a minute.
Yep.
But then very little after halftime. Did you guys take it easy, lose your edge because it came so easily in the first half?
No, not at all. I think that they're a good football team. I mean, the reality is, like I said, they had the ball in the third quarter for most of the whole quarter. I mean, we had the ball one time. And in the fourth quarter, we scored, so we didn't lose our edge there. We scored a good amount of points. It's just they made some plays when they needed to, and so I don't think we lost our edge by any means. I think that just across the board, we could have played a little tighter, a little better. And like I said, it's unfortunate.
What did they do to take away your tight ends today?
They didn't necessarily do anything in particular. I think that Tyler had such a beautiful game. I mean, he was remarkable. I mean, think about what he did today. Freddie Swain had a great game. That was huge to see him play. DK made some plays, and so I think those guys just, we didn't have the ball that long, but when we did make plays, those are the guys who were making them. So nothing in particular. I think that we can always get those guys the ball. There was a couple opportunities here and there, but other guys had maybe showed up, down the field. We took those guys. So I know, and then the 2-minute drive where we went up and down the field, Gerald was open on a couple of them, but we hit the guy down the left sideline a couple times. So it's a good thing to have guys who can get open and make plays.
Russ, what happened on the possession in overtime? It kind of fell apart.
Yeah, they stopped it. We almost had Tyler on the sideline, on the first play, and the second one, tried to throw it away because it looked like something was going on over there. I'm not sure exactly. And then the third play, they covered it well, tried to move and make a play, and then that was it. I think that you don't second guess them. You feel like we're always great in those situations, and more times than not, we're always going to be great in those. We're going to win those. We're going to make those plays. We always have, and so it doesn't happen every time. And even when we did have to punt the ball, we still felt like we could win the game, and they made their plays.
You're somebody who thrives in that neutral mentality, and I know try not to get too high, too low during the game, but afterwards, Jamal and Bobby were talking about just the emotions of having the 12 back in the stands and her first home game. Did you feel like there was an element of added emotion on the sidelines that could have led to that, like, undisciplined shooting yourselves in the foot that you guys are talking about?
That's a great question. I mean, I felt super poised. I felt like we were poised for the most part throughout the game. I mean, obviously, it's a football game. It's going to bring emotions and stuff like that, but you got to eliminate them, Got to be able to eliminate them throughout the process, but still play with great passion. Doesn't mean that you can't play with great passion. I think there's a difference between passion and emotion. And so I think the thing is that I think that for us, I think that as we're continuing to play, is to find that poise throughout the whole game. It's a long game. It's a long battle. It's good team over here, good team over here. It's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, they made some huge plays. Henry had that nice run after we scored. So it's high and then some tough moments there. But I think that's why neutral thinking is so important. I mean, just for me in particular, playing this game for so long, it's you know, I know there's going to be ebbs and flows of the game, you know, and so I think as we all talk about it, you know, what can we do better as in groups and stuff like that or whatever. I think we did a good job. I think, you know, listen, I mean, we scored 30 points or whatever. You know, there's a chance to win that game, you know, and they made some plays. You know, that's really what it comes down to. A good football team against us, and we're a good one too. We knew it was going to be a battle. We knew it was going to be a tough fight. We had a feeling that it was going to be a long, drawn-out game, that we may not even get the ball all the time just because, you know, how they play football, and they're going to hand it off quite a bit. I'm not sure how many runs he had there, but, you know, they give it to him quite a bit. And so, you know, when we capitalized, we capitalized in a good way. But Chris Carson, you know, had those 2 nice runs down near the goal line, which was great by offensive line, powering that in there. Like I said, Tyler had a spectacular game. Freddie, you know, there's a lot of good things. But not good enough.
Apologies if this feels too prying, but how personally difficult was this week for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I think that throughout the week it's been challenging just in a way, thinking about Trevor, just because he's such a good friend, you know, and one of my best friends in the world. To lose him is devastating. But I also know that he's up in heaven somewhere smiling down with my dad, and heaven's a good place. And, you know, and I just think about everything he's fought through, everything he's battled through. He didn't tell many people. He just kept going and kept trying to lead and help people and serve. And I love Trevor, you know, and he was with me all day today in a good way. And, you know, I really, truly felt like, you know, all his thoughts and everything else was with me today. So I'm grateful for that, and grateful for the time we spent together. And, you know, long days, man. We spent a lot of time together. We spent a lot of hard moments, a lot of great ones too. A lot of great ones, and so, you know, I wrote him on my cleats today, and did some just some of his quotes that really kind of stuck with me always. You know, and so he'll forever be with me. But, you know, today just tried to you know, once again stay neutral as possible, knowing that, you know, it was going to be a tough one in that sense, but also knowing I've gone through some stuff in my lifetime, and you lose people, and people come and go. But you know, what I'm grateful for is that he got to know God. He got to know, you know, just what that's like, and just, you know, seeing him in heaven is going to be a good day one day. So he means a lot to me.
The work that you guys did together, does that prepare you in any way to deal with something like, you know, play through something like this?
Yeah, I think so, you know, for sure, and without a doubt. I mean, think all the things that we've talked about. And I think that, first of all, my faith is number one. I think number two is just been through some things. Obviously, losing my dad was the heaviest thing I've ever dealt with. You know, and in the highest of the high, I got drafted the day before. The next day, my dad passed away. So you have the highest of the high to the lowest of the low within 24 hours, just like that. That was challenging. I think about, you know, how my mom would always be at the hospital. And that's pressure. You know, that's challenging. That's not easy. You know, I think about all the things that just you go through throughout life, that we all go through, you know, and we all go through different circumstances in different ways. And what I think is so important is, you know, surrendering and surrounding around the right people. And that's the thing that's always kept me, you know, blessed, and knowing that, hey, you know what, there's going to be a better day ahead. And that's what Trevor always said. He used to always say the best day is ahead, you know, and best days are ahead. So I really believe that. And so in life, I think that we're going to go through all these circumstances and everything else, but we all have challenges and everything else. But I do believe that our mindset's everything. How we think about things, how we talk about things, our language. You know, Trevor, you know, his language is such a big part of it. You know, how what we say, what we don't say. That's part of the battle all the time. You know, it's like what we don't say sometimes. You know, and how do we speak to one another, and how do we care for one another, how we uplift one another, and you know, even as you're going through life things, but even as a team, you know, as leaders, like, what do we say? How do we say things like that? And so that's why I've spent so much of my time and energy around that, because that's something that I know I can control. You know, it's something that I know I'm going to go through obstacles. I know there's going to be adversity, but if I can control my mind, you know, that's the part that I really believe is really key. And so that's why I control my language, and making sure that, hey, I'm on the same page, and the people that I'm around and all that. So I think that's really critical, and that's why I've invested so much time and energy and limitless mind, all that stuff. You know, it means something to me.
Anything else?
Thank you, guys. Go Hawks. Thanks for all the fans who came to, just obviously to see you guys again. Obviously, we weren't able to finish it the way we wanted to, but through everything that we've gone through with COVID and everything else, and what everybody's going through. It was really special today just to be around the 12s again. So we'll be better. We'll be back, and we'll see you guys soon. We'll see you guys in Minnesota, right? Minnesota. We'll see you guys. All right, go Hawks.